Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today comes a different type of review. As you guys know, I usually review music, and you might also know that I'm a huge fan of Namie Amuro. And recently she released her final live tour DVD, and of course I bought it and I wanted to share my thoughts on this one. As always, this is just my opinion on those concerts, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for maybe more in the future. So if you don't know, finally the final tour, like its title indicates, is the final tour from Namie Amuro that she had this year from February to June 2018. She sang and danced in some of the biggest concert venues in Japan, and the tour was released in 5 different editions. Basically, you get the final concert in Tokyo Dome from last June, the concert she had in Okinawa to celebrate her 25th anniversary in September last year, and finally, depending on which limited edition you picked, a concert from the finale tour from a different city, edited differently. I personally chose the Osaka edition with the Osaka concert focused on her dancing. And I had to rewatch the concerts many times because, well, they last about 2 hours and a half each, and there's a lot to take in, and honestly, it's quite emotional at times because, you know, it's their final tour ever. But I'm going to keep my opinion more of a general one here without too many spoilers in case some of you haven't seen it yet or don't want to know. So I'm going to start off with the final concert in June from the finale tour. I absolutely loved this concert. I thought the editing especially was great, outside of some small nitpicks, but we'll talk about that later. And seeing her sing live and being so efficient, even on her last concert, was incredible. Namie Amuro really is one of a kind of a performer out there, and I know she has been criticized for sometimes appearing too robotic during her performances, but I personally never felt that way because Namie to me has always been a focused and serious performer. Every dance moves, every moment during a song is carefully crafted to work on every level, such as the visuals, the sets, the costumes, the singing. There's so much to love about a concert, and even the little fan service moments always felt genuine to me. Actually, Namie herself always felt like a genuine performer to me no matter what tour she went on, and on this one, her appreciation for her fans really is the main focus. You get the set list chosen by fans online with only the new songs of the best of added to it for an overall 30-song set list, which is quite a long one, and yet she kept going for 2 hours and a half. With almost non-stop dancing and such great energy. And the stage itself, I felt what was of the most riveting ones she had in years. Just the giant screens with the background made especially for each set pieces and each song. It felt so real at times, even though it was only a screen. And when there were lasers involved, you could really tell that this tour's goal was to be as grand and magnificent as possible. It really felt epic. Like even the catwalk had some projected animations on its centerpiece that went along with Namie's performance, depending on the song she performed, and that looked absolutely gorgeous at times, and I'm glad we get to see it thanks to the drone's camera flying over to capture it. As for the set list, well, you get the usual hits like Say the Word, New Look, Don't Wanna Cry, some Super Monkey songs, and you know, it's a commemorative concert, so it goes by the books, especially as 24 songs were voted online by fans. But I was especially happy to see a song like Do Me More, especially because it's such a standout song in her discography to me, and the stage and choreography on this tour was amazing for it. She also used the finale version of Break It and as well for Get Myself Back, which I thought was pretty neat to do, and other than that I was satisfied by the set list, although there isn't much space for surprises there, but that was to be expected considering the reason why this tour happened in the first place. As for how this show was edited, I really liked it. I watched the WoWo version back in June thanks to a friend, and if you don't know, WoWo is a TV network that had the rights to the concert, and they showed one that was filmed in Fukuoka, and the editing for that version was so bad for me. I hated it, it made me nauseous. And she also had some sound issues during the concert, which wasn't great, but on this Tokyo concert, I loved the way she sounded, and the edit I felt had a good balance of everything. Like, you have close-ups when she's not dancing much, wide angles to show us the choreographies and the stage, and it also does the blurry zoom in edits, but only on songs that are more dynamic, like Break It for example, and I only noticed it heavily used on 2 songs, which was nice because it didn't make me want to throw up like on the WoWo version, so there was that. I also noticed that the person who edited this one really loved the fading moments like a lot, and after noticing it, you couldn't get over it, but looking back, and I was like, wow, yeah, you get one close-up and suddenly it fades away to another shot, and yeah, this person does it a lot. But honestly, I liked how the colors popped, how we got to appreciate every aspect of this concert in the best way possible. And I think it was edited really well, especially like on a set that starts with girl talk. I really like this city nightlife kind of stage, you know. It was so colorful and beautiful, and especially during What a Feeling, and even more during Showtime, it was just awesome. And speaking of Showtime, it ended up being one of the highlights of this show for me because it's such a fun song in general, but even live it really pops, and you can tell that Namie was having a lot of fun too. The Osaka version of the concert, like I said, was edited by someone different, who this time focused on her dancing, and so the concert was very different. There were a lot of wide angles where you could really appreciate her dancing and the choreographies. And it surprised me at times because sometimes you would have a focus more on her dancers. Well, you could still see her dancing, but I thought it was a really great touch because her dancers on this tour really are once again fantastic, and sometimes it feels like they don't get enough appreciation. Other than that, I don't have much to add about the Osaka edit because it really is like you just see the choreographies a lot more, you see the sets a lot more, and that's pretty much it because the set list is the same. There's only Namie's speech at the end, which is different because the Osaka concerts were back in April and she ended the tour in June. But that's pretty much my thoughts on this one. My little nitpicks are one, especially during both concerts, and it's during Love Story. She usually towards the end hits the high note, and this time I noticed that she doesn't do it anymore, and even during her previous tour I noticed already that she stopped, and so it leaves her like standing alone for like 10 seconds of kind of an awkward moment, like you're just waiting for the chorus to come back so she can sing, and it felt really awkward to me. I'm not sure why she has just stopped doing that. Maybe it's just to preserve her voice for the rest of the concert, but still it felt very weird. And that's like my only biggest nitpick. Also during Sweet 19 Blues, there's a moment like that I noticed as well, where she's not really singing a part anymore and it's just her standing and waiting for the rest. It's a bit weird, I don't know why I feel that way about it. But now let's talk about the Okinawa concert from last year. This one was also showed on TV, I believe a few months after it had happened, or maybe it was a few days later, I can't remember. And this concert is quite special because she had 2 of them the weekend of her 25th career anniversary. And for this one, Namie is the one who picked all of the songs, and we had many great songs, especially from her Super Monkeys days, like Go Go Yume no Ayasade, which happens to be one of my favorite Super Monkeys songs, and the live version was amazing. And of course we get Mr. USA, which I love a lot. It's such a cheesy song, but I really love the way, you know, the screens showed a younger self when she was promoting the song when she was 14-year-old. That got me very emotional, you know, and you can hear the crowd as well being like, oh. I thought that was great, and She also brought back one of my favorite B-sides, which is Higher, from the single Sit Stay Wait Down Love Story. And I love this song so much, and singing it live again was such a treat because I think the last time we saw it was during Lifestyle 2011 tour, if I'm not wrong. I think that was first and last time we ever saw it. And she also brought back Rock You, which is again one of my favorite song of hers. And you can tell during this concert that Namie was really having a lot of fun. You know, she was just, you could tell she was so happy to celebrate it with everyone, and because 25 years is a huge landmark when it comes to her career. And I think she did it the best way she could, and the way she especially wanted to do it. And when you think, you know, because she was supposed to do a concert in Okinawa for 20th anniversary, but the problem with that was that there was a typhoon in Okinawa, so it was cancelled. And I'm glad she managed to get back and actually give the concert a go, because it was very important for her and, you know, for all the fans. It's just a really fun concert. I think the set list flows really well. Like, she really picked the right amount of songs and different eras, and yeah, it was really fun. So I think this pretty much sums up my thoughts on all of these concerts. Honestly, there's so much to talk about and I could spend hours on it, but here's what I thought of those concerts in general. And I hope this little video, if you haven't decided on whether or not to buy this concert, has convinced you. I honestly had a blast on this Osaka edition, and all three concerts are really great in their own ways, and I think they're all amazing ways for Namie to end her career, and it's definitely a concert that I need in my Namie collection, so that's why I give this DVD 5 stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share your thoughts about the concerts down below, and I'll see you next time.